move they make. Get ready for the impact, no way to take it back. This is the steel and canvas, this ain't no time for practice. High stakes, spectacle, adrenaline attack, welcome to Slammin' It. Slammin' It.
And welcome to another installment of Slammin' It. There he is with the double bicep pose.
Yes.
The Draco. Hey, by the way, did you draw that David Bowie picture behind you? I thought you had drawn
that's a commission that my wife got. Dude, that's all done in thumbprints.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
that is impressive. We bring that up because Jack is a tremendous artist. By the way, welcome to Slammin' It. We got stuff to talk about. We'll talk about Raw. We're going to talk about AEW stuff going on. We're going to talk about UFC Freedom 250, which is I thought it was closer to July. I don't know. It was actually this weekend, so it actually kind of snuck up on me. But I have a very important question for you, my friend. A question that will determine how I feel about you. And if the answer is no, I'm just going to be disappointed, bro. I'll be honest with you. If the answer is no, I'm going to be very disappointed. You have no idea what I'm going to ask, right? No idea.
So it's a 50-50. Okay,
50-50.
yes or no.
And if you say no, I'm going to be upset. I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be disappointed. I'll be a little bit disappointed if you say no. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here's the question. Have you seen Masters of the Universe?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Come on,
Good.
dude. That was like a Saturday morning cartoon come to life, man.
What did you think, honestly?
I did. Like I said, the proof is in the pudding right there. It was like a Saturday morning cartoon. I loved it. It was cheesy. It was lighthearted. It's better than a lot of that slop, that Marvel, Star Wars slop that's been put out recently, man. It's just a good time at the movies. Don't listen to this stupid online hate. You got to realize, man, this came out for children. This was a show originally that was an action figure-based toy, and then they made it into a children's TV show. What do you expect that you're going to get? And I mean, come on, man. It was awesome, Monster.
I thought it was pretty good. The only problem I have with it is that they tried too much with the humor. There's a couple of things that and I'm not going to spoil anything, but they have like a big shot where like you see when all of them are walking, then there's like smoke and they start coughing. I was like, come on, dude. We've had enough of the jokes. And towards the end as well, there's more jokes. But overall, I thought it was a blast. I thought Jared Leto did tremendous at Skeletor. This is the crescendo, It was awesome. I thought it was awesome. I can't wait to see it again. Actually, I have seen it again, like on the internet, but it's not the same. Go watch it in the theater. I saw it in the theater on Thursday nights, and I look forward to watching it again. It's Masters of the Universe, so that tells me you didn't watch, because I have not seen the Mandalorian and Grogu on the big screen. Have you seen that one?
Dude, I haven't seen it either.
I really haven't seen it because it kind of like there's nothing that has enticed me to see that, because it's based on an episode of the TV show. But nonetheless, I just want to make sure that we're on the same wavelength and watching the Master of the Universe.
How long?
I had to check, dude.
How
I had
long
to check.
we've been
I was checking your man card. If you have seen He-Man,
reason.
yes. What did your wife think about it?
She hasn't seen it.
Okay, so you went by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I have this window of time, during the day where I can go to the movies by myself.
Yeah, that's the beauty of doing morning radio. And then being able to be done by 2:00, because you can go to the movie theater and get there when nobody's there. So,
you and I have done that.
Yes, I've done that many of time. I was gonna say, my best part one of my favorite parts of the movie when it comes to Skeletor is they're calling him the Skelebro. For me, that's the funniest thing. You have to watch the movie. I don't want to ruin it, but there's a part towards the end of the movie where he gets into He-Man's head, and it's the Skelebro. I mean, it's been all over in the internet now, but still, I thought that was hilarious.
And then you have HR, Skele HR.
Yeah, from Office Space. I thought it was hilarious. So I thought it was great to see. I think Fonzie had things that Fonzie says that it was an awesome movie. I agree. It was tremendous. Hopefully it makes enough money to get a sequel. Like I said, this is the beauty of us doing this stuff live. I didn't know he didn't know. Jack had no idea I was going to ask him this,
Nope.
and I did. So that's the situation. I love it. So let's talk about the stuff we're going to talk about here. So let's start with Monday Night Raw. Of course, they're still overseas. They're in France. They're in Paris, and once again, Paris was the place where the whole phenomenon thing started with the crowd and the Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and the Cody Rhodes, and of course the AJ Styles, when they're basically chanting the phenomenon where the ring was actually shaking because the fans were jumping up and down. It was just a great visual when it was AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. So of course Oba Femi is now going to be taking on Dominic Mysterio. I had no problem with that. I'm just going to run down with them very quickly, then I'll get your thoughts on it. So.
Okay.
I thought Oba looked pretty good in that situation. He's doing a great job with the microphone. Liv Morgan, the world champion, is in a tournament to get a world championship opportunity. Really doesn't make any sense to me at all. It really doesn't. Why are they doing that? It really doesn't make any. Do they have enough? I think they could. I mean, I know they're waiting for Stephanie Vaquer to come off the injury list, but you think what if she was injured? What if she was out for like at least 6 months? You'd have to move on.
What do you do?
Exactly. And by the way, it was her birthday on Monday. We share the same birthday, so that was pretty
Liv
cool.
Morgan or Stephanie Vaquer?
No, Liv Morgan. I did not know that, so that was pretty cool to see. So anyway, she won the Fatal 4-Way, and I thought everybody looked very good in this match, and I'm very happy to see Chelsea Green was in this match, because if somebody deserves to be in this type of spotlight, Jack, I think it's going to be Chelsea Green, and it's just a matter of time before she gets one of these major championships back.
Yeah.
So that was okay, Sol Roca defended her Intercontinental Championship versus Lara Valkyria. LA Knight, I thought LA Knight, we'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. I thought it was about damn time, and I just when I thought it was over, they brought it back. And then they went a little bit longer. But without a doubt, the match of the night was the Penta versus Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And, of course, that was a banger of a match, showing everybody once again why Lucha Libre is tremendous, especially when you got two legends here, Rey Mysterio. Everybody's acting like Penta's like young. Penta's been doing this for over 20-plus years as well.
He's about 40, isn't he?
A lot of people forget that he was one of the first people that were part of the AEW. Remember, he was on Jericho's whatever it was called, with him and his brother. Remember Ray Phoenix? Yeah, so they're part of that. And then the surprise of the evening, and I thought it was a great thing to do, is Javon Evans won the Fatal 4-Way first round matchup for the King of the Ring. A lot of people thought Seth Rollins was going to do that. And just when you think that they're done with the whole Vision situation, you had they show up, and then Braun Breaker gives him the spear. So now I guess we're gonna get that again in King of the Ring or SummerSlam. The only way they're gonna get past that, Jack, when it comes to him and Braun Breaker, is they got to do it in the Hell in the Cell or in the Steel Cage or something like that. So I laid it out for you. Gave me your thoughts on what you think of Monday Night Raw.
Look, you got to pull the trigger with Braun Breaker. Injuries aside, WWE's been having this nasty habit of taking certain stars and pushing them slightly out of the mid card, and then all of a sudden the invisible leash brings them back in. You've seen it happen with the likes of Braun Breaker. You can say it with LA Knight. You can say it with Oba. You can say it with Penta. You can also say it with Dominic Mysterio to some degree. You gotta pull the trigger with some of these stars that have either been with the company or that are young enough, that have paid their dues, that are just extremely hot right now. I'm surprised that they're giving LA Knight the rub right now, man, because he not only has he deserved it for so long, but he should have been a world champion by now a long time ago.
You would have thought, honestly, that he would have gotten the world championship before Jey Uso got the world championship. But I mean, I guess it is what it is, and I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of the situation of Zack Ryder, where like they were kind of against somebody that got himself over. Because remember, Zack Ryder, what's his using his real name now? Married to Chelsea Green. What are we? Yes. What is his name? I mean, somebody let me.
I just threw a blank.
I'm throwing the blank, and the fact that he was like he wrestled here in TNA, and of course he's part of the WWE right now. I can't remember. Anyways, but nonetheless, it
That's so
reminds
funny.
me of,
I usually have notes here, and I have no notes.
yeah, and that's the situation there when you think about it with him. It's somebody that you thought that he was a very popular as when he was Zack Ryder, and then they for some reason they gave him the championship once, and then the very next night they took it away. So
Matt Cardona.
yes,
Jeez
Matt
Louise.
Cardona, thank you for that. And when it comes to Mr. LA Knight, I mean he's got all the charisma. He's a throwback to The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I don't see the real problem with him being in this.
Ageism.
No, okay. Do you think that he wins the King of the Ring tournament and he faces Roman Reigns? Because he did mention it. I mean, what do you think about that?
That's rough because isn't Oba in the King of the Ring too?
No, it's not gonna. Yeah, but he's not gonna win. I still think that when it comes to Obafemi, that Brock Lesnar is gonna interfere, and that's gonna cost him that match, and then we're gonna get the trifecta, the rubber match there in SummerSlam in Minnesota. Don't you know?
Don't you know, in Minnesota? That's where the money would be. But it's a funny thing right now because Oba's hot, dude. He is white hot. He is on this train that has just got a crap ton of coals in it. He's on the rails right now. He's going 120 miles an hour. The right thing to do would be to have this guy win the King of the Ring, because when you win the King of the Ring, you're set. That means you're usually going to become a future world heavyweight champion. Some exceptions aside. Now, do I think LA Knight fits that mold right there, becoming King of the Ring? Sure. It's really hard to decide between the two who you would give it to, the King of the Ring. But LA Knight's a guy that should have been on top 2-3 years ago, and it was against Roman. And now look what's going to happen again. He's going to be fodder for Roman again, Monster.
Well, so here's the question. So I'm assuming whoever wins this is going to challenge Roman Reigns, because when it comes to the other one, you're still going to have Gunter and Sammy involved in the WWE Championship with Cody Rhodes. Although you look at the situation, if you really want to like kind of surprise all of us, here's the two questions I got for you. Like if LA Knight wins the King of the Ring, does he pick Roman or does he pick Cody? Because of course he can pick and choose whoever he wants. Of course, everybody expects him to pick Roman, and he's not going to win. On the other side, on the flip side, if Oba does win the King of the Ring and he challenges Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, the big question is, like you said, if this is the second coming of Goldberg, do you just put the strap on him right now and then you're really on a rocket? Do you pull the trigger now?
Monster, the guy isn't just on a rocket, man. He is on a spaceship. He's on Space Mountain. Woo! I mean, you gotta let this guy take off. You gotta let him. I mean, he's undeniable right now. Everything about him is a superstar. Is it? But now the question is it too soon? Is it too early? Do you capitalize on the heat right now? The money would be yes, because dude, look at what he's accomplishing. Look at his connection that he has with the fans. I don't think this is going to be a case of where it's too much too soon. I think it's just right, because the guy right now, Monster, is transcending wrestling right now. The connection with the fans, his movesets in the ring, his charisma right now. You don't hate the guy. You're rooting for the guy because he has this, you see it through the TV, this connection that he has with the audience.
He's got the it factor, he's got the great, he's a throw. And like I said, we talk about the second coming of Goldberg because there really hasn't been anybody like Goldberg that is once he's got onto the main TV aspect of it, he's just blowing everybody away. And Oba, a lot of people forget that Oba was the NXT champion for a couple of times, lost the championship, got it back. Yeah, of course. So, I mean, it's a situation that I just think that they're still going to, I mean, I love to see it. I think that'd be the most shocking thing to do, because it totally throws the bloodline thing. There's an easy way I can see Roman losing the championship now. That I thought about that. And that is having Jacob Fatu interfere whoever Roman is up against, and then, let the other guy win, whether it be LA Knight. And they're kind of teasing that right now, because remember how on yesterday, Jacob Fatu said to Jey Uso that, hey, I answer to the OTC. I don't answer to you two guys. So they're
Yeah,
still like teasing all that
a lot
craziness.
of
So
tension.
yeah. So
All I know is Monster. All I know is that I don't have the stomach for another 2 year plus reign of Roman Reigns. I
I don't
don't. I
think
don't
so.
have the stomach.
I mean, you got so many guys out there. I mean, CM Punk is still going to come back. Randy
Yeah.
Orton eventually is going to come back. You got Drew McIntyre still waiting to come back. So many people trying to come back. Then eventually you're going to have to start giving it to some of these young guys because when these guys go off and start making movies like Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre and eventually CM Punk's going to retire. Eventually, not I'm still give CM Punk like another 3 years easily that he's going to wrestle, but still, you're going to have to find some of the guys. But I mean, I think Oba would be. It would remind me of the same thing, like the way Goldberg was, But from what I could tell, no disrespect, it looks like Oba might be able to wrestle a little bit more because
He
of
can
the
go.
time, he spent in NXT. With Goldberg, it was like he was just training at the power plant and let's go, dog, let's go. And next thing
Yeah.
you know, and of course, it all comes back. A little history lesson on that Monday Night Nitro here in El Paso, Texas, when they told William Regal. And by the way, you can find the match on YouTube. It's
Was it great?
Goldberg versus William Regal, and they told William Regal like you're gonna go 6 minutes,
I
and
forgot about that.
you're gonna go 6 minutes, and let's see what this guy has, and you can see that Goldberg was kind of lost, and I think they even talk about
He
that.
made
In,
Goldberg look like a chump. I mean,
yeah,
like Monster said, look at that match. I mean, he completely out wrestled Goldberg. This is Regal that we're talking about. And then,
yeah,
don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, Regal did what he was supposed to do. He jobbed
correct.
to him at the
Yep,
end,
of course.
but at a great price. He exposed Goldberg.
And I think even when Stone Cold Steve Austin's when he had that podcast like 4 or 5 years ago, like they talk about that. So, all right, so Fonzie's got a couple of things. I don't think Fonzie's going to be able to join us. So first of all, he says Oba is not the guy, and then he says Oba is just an attraction. But I mean, I'll let you respond to that first, Jack. That he's just an attraction.
I couldn't disagree more. That's just rage bait. That's rage bait material right there. The dude is eventually going to become a champion. The guy has every tool imaginable to become a champion. It's just a question of when. He's not a side attraction. He is going to be the attraction. If anybody's a side attraction, it's washed out Brock Lesnar.
No, actually, no. The side attraction is the gentleman that is very hot right now, and his winning streak came to an end yesterday because the San Antonio Spurs beat the New York Knicks, and of course, I'm talking about Danhausen. Danhausen was in the pregame show for the NBA Finals yesterday. Danhausen wasn't even part of the roster in January. Think about that. This guy has come in at the right place, has blown up, and just gone out there, and he has become mainstream. Good for him. I love me some Danhausen. He's just great. Great that he's doing all that stuff. Do you know how long it takes these guys to do this? Like, to get that mainstream, like the ESPN people are like, hey, we want to put you on TV because you're funny. Yeah, how long it took The Rock and Triple H and all these guys to get that type of
he's been on months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, you love to see it because the guy, he doesn't hurt anybody, man. He does great merchandise sales. He's got great catchphrases. He's funnier than hell. And he is great at cursing people. He's great at cursing sports teams, apparently now. Did it for the Las Vegas Knights, did it for the Knicks.
Yep.
And, but you got to admit, the dude is a glorified circus sideshow. That's all he's going to be.
And the thing what people don't realize is that he can actually wrestle. He has been on the independent scene for so many years, and he actually can wrestle. It's like we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. If you're at the level, if you're wrestling in the WWE, that means you can go. That means you are a tremendous wrestler. Whether they use it or not, it's up to them. But everybody there is an A+ wrestler, and we've seen it when we've seen some of the guys wrestle on AAA, when they wrestle on the other shows, or especially in the house shows. Don't forget the house show in Las Cruces on July 11th. You only have to pay half your mortgage to be able to see that if you want to sit in the cheap seats. Yeah. Anyways, so this is the last one from Fonzie. He says you can't do a promo. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I think for what he needs to do, he can do a promo. Better, like I said, at this point, he's more elevated than Goldberg was at this time. So that's how I look at it.
At this point, you're just hating. You got to remember, dude, one of his best promos was also pre-WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar, where he says, "I am the one. I have always been the one."
And sometimes you don't need sometimes you don't have to go out there and school everybody the way CM Punk does. See my shirt.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to have the presence, and one word. Sometimes it happens. Kind of like many years ago after Roman Reigns beat the Undertaker, and still people didn't believe in Roman Reigns, and then he just said, "This is my yard now," and left. And that was
Drop the
awesome.
mic.
Good to see. So that was the Raw recap. I thought it was great Raw, and once again, I thought it was great because once again the crowd there in France was just amazing. Just amazing.
love
The
it.
crowd.
You love
It just-
to see
the crowd interaction just makes it feel big time. Every single match, big time. So we'll see how I don't know where. I know it's in the United States next week. So Raw's going to be back at 6 o'clock, and then in 2 weeks they're back in London at noon. So we'll see. So let's move on to. And by the way, you guys have comments. One more from Fonzie. He says that yes, bigger than Goldberg. So okay, at least we agree on that he's bigger than Goldberg. Okay, so let's talk AEW. Dynamite Summer of Blockbusters tomorrow. But before we get to that, we had a big return last week on Dynamite, and of course, Mercedes Moné. How many championships did she have at one time? Was it like 15 or 14?
Does she still have them?
No. She had to see the one thing that was cool about her is that when she was going to all these independent little federations, well, she was going to all these places and winning the championships because she did, and then she had all the belts. She looked like she could barely walk, but she had all of them. The cool thing is that she was gonna have to go back to all these places and drop the title, and she has done all of that. So the last about year, she went dropping the title to all of them. And of course, Toni Storm got the big victory. Everybody thought that she was going to be Toni Storm for the AEW Championship last year, but it did not happen at that Texas All-In, whatever they call it there, that happened in Dallas. So Mercedes Moné is back, so that's pretty huge for AEW.
Yeah. You need more challengers. Again, more is more. More is better. It's good to see her back. Yeah, she broke Ultimo Dragon's record, man, for having that many belts. And so, where do you put her now? Where do you put her?
Well, she's gonna be in the. She's gonna take on Hazuki in 2 weeks on Dynamite. That's gonna be the Owen Hart Women's Tournament semifinals.
I guess I'm answering my own question here. Now that she's back, she, I guess, would be now at the bottom of the ladder. She's got to climb her way up now, because if you push her now like they did last time, she shows up. She's immediately pushed to the moon. A lot of people resented her for that. Like, she didn't pay her dues. She wasn't like in AEW, that is. So I think right now it would be very nice to see her work her way up.
Well, right now, she's, like I said, next week, on June the 17th in Houston, she's going to be taking on Hazuki in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. On the other side, it's Athena. And Athena is going to be taking on the winner of Sky Blue and Sari, which is tomorrow in the, what do I call it? The summer blockbuster. So I can see Mercedes making her way and winning this. And then I think that I have no problem with that either. And I think this is a time where, because remember, she didn't win the AEW championship, right? She was the TNT or TBS, whichever one of those TV titles it is. She was that champion. So I think now her second run coming back, I think she should be in play for the women's heavyweight, or for the women's championship. So I think that'd be great, But like I said, I think it's something that's going to be good to see there. So, anyways, I already teased one of them, the semifinals tomorrow, Sky Blue versus Sari. And then the other one for the men's semifinals is going to be Swerve Strickland versus Brody King. That should be a tremendous matchup tomorrow. The winner's going to face Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is going to happen in 3 weeks, June the 28th. So,
I feel it's telegraphed, Monster. I feel it's telegraphed. I feel that we're going to be getting Swerve against Ospreay, because Ospreay, dude, has been stellar when it comes to Forbidden Door. Both those guys, and to have them go up against each other, dude, that is money. It's the old Vince McMahon thing. You look at your people, and all you got to do is this. Dude, that's a money matchup between those two. So I think it's a little telegraphed. I think that's. I'd love to be wrong. But I think it's going to be Swerve and Osprey and Forbidden Door.
I agree with you. I think that's exactly what's going to happen there. That's the money match. It should be one of the of course Brody King is 2 feet taller than all these guys. So and of course he did a tremendous job when he had the world championship match against then champion. And speaking of the world champion, MJF is apparently a little bit injured, but apparently he's still going to be able to wrestle at a Forbidden Door. So none of the card has been finalized yet, from what I can tell here, because I'm literally on AEW's website checking out Forbidden Door. So of course it's AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. Forbidden Door, it's June the 28th. So still should be a tremendous thing. One of the other things that we saw with AEW there, Jack, is that Mick Foley, and we forgot, did we talk about this last week? We forgot to talk about this week, if we did, that Mick Foley made his return to pro wrestling, and he is now on commentary with AEW, and there's rumors out there that he might actually wrestle at least one more time. Everybody's saying that if he is going to wrestle, he's going to wrestle against MJF.
That's a fanboy pipe dream. That is a huge Mark fanboy pipe dream. Have you seen Mick Foley walk? Have you seen him even attempt to walk? Dude, that bit on Vice where they talked about Mick Foley, the injuries that he has sustained, that he is suffering right now. He is paying for all of those injuries.
Yep.
All of those things that have happened to him. He is currently paying for that right now. The dude can't even walk. He is missing body parts. If by some miracle, if he gets that bag, if Tony Khan decides to throw him this bag of money, if there's going to be even a shadow of a wrestling match, dude, MJF is going to have to carry the extreme bulk of that match.
Well, that goes without saying that MJF's going to have to carry it. And first of all, it's going to have to be a hardcore match, because there's no other type of match that you'd be able to put together. I will say this. I think he'll look better from right now. He'll look better than the way Ric Flair did in the last match he had. I think he might.
Ric Flair's 80 years old, Monster. Ric
Flair 185 years old and still out there wrestling.
He sat down on this chair and he punched me in the face. But
no, he did not. Yes, he did. No, he did not. By the way, speaking of MJF, he did confirm today via social media post that he is injured, although he hopes he does not have to take any time away from the ring. So we went on Instagram, posted a video explaining everything that's going on with him, but he confirmed he has hyperextended his left knee on last week's edition of AEW Dynamite, but he says that he will be able to compete in Forbidden Door. So that's a situation there that we are. What'd you say?
You can work around that.
Yeah, exactly. So so that is what's going on in the world of AEW there. Before we move on, I want to check out some things before we talk about the UFC. Like I said, this is a kind of a quick episode here. Some sad news. Wrestler and X-Men star Tyler Mane diagnosed with breast cancer. We wish our best to him. Of course, he was saber-toothed. But a lot of people don't realize he was actually, I'll give you $1 if you can guess the horror movie he was in.
Oh, dude, come on. Halloween? He was Michael Myers.
He was Michael Myers.
I'll give you $1 if you can tell me his former wrestling name.
I cannot.
Big Sky.
Big Sky Country.
Big Sky.
So that's a situation. Hopefully we will see that get better for him. We wish him all the best. Alba Fire has confirmed that her WWE contract has expired. So that's sad to see. But like I said, you gotta wait the 90 days and maybe to see what she can do after the free agency. So there's a big thing going on this weekend. And honestly, I thought this was going to take place closer to the 4th of July. I didn't realize it's this weekend. And like I said, the beauty of this show is that not only do we talk pro wrestling, but we'll talk MMA. Last week we talked boxing with Stephanie Hahn and Holly Holm. We talked MMA when it was Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. So there's a big UFC event happening for the first time ever. It's UFC Freedom 250, and for the first time in the history that I know of, and for sure in recent history, for sure in the last 100 years, because I don't really know like when they first built it. You know, I know it burned down, then they brought it back up, but I don't know if there was any type of events that were actually being held at the White House. But from the South Lawn of the White House, there is going to be a UFC event. Let me say that one more time. From the South Lawn of the White House, yes, the White House, there is going to be a UFC pay-per-view event. Watch it on Paramount Plus. That's the best way to watch it. It's only $10. Sounds like I'm doing a commercial. Jack, when I'm telling you all this, it sounds like I'm talking to you about an episode of The Boys, because The Boys they would do crazy stuff like this. You know, I'm sad because on Wednesdays I have nothing to look forward to. That was my go-to show for like the last 3 weeks. By the way, did you like how it ended, or were you okay with it? I was fine with it because that's all it is.
I was okay with it. They should have extended it to another episode. They should have made Homelander's demise a lot more epic. You know, we all knew he was going to be human again, but you did it in the last 10 minutes of the show.
They could have done something where like the battle was going to be out, and then eventually they're back into the White House. You know, I mean, but anyways,
he should have gone on a rampage.
Correct. Anyways, so there's going to be UFC events there at the White House lawn, the South Lawn. Now, it might be in jeopardy, though, because of the weather. There's reports that it might rain, it might be thunder, so I don't know. But something tells me this is still going to go on. So let's talk about the card. By the way, I was about to say a lot of people think this is a weak card. A lot of people are curious as to why Conor McGregor is not on this card, and he's going to be on the card in July.
Big whoop.
You know, but that brings a lot of views. Because I'll be honest with you, Jack, I am going to watch because I'm curious to see. I mean, think about it. MMA on the White House lawn. I'm just curious to see how that's going to look. I mean, what they're putting together is something crazy. It's going to be, it's crazy to see. And of course, the VIP packages are like $1 million. And there's rumors that if you don't follow Oscar De La Hoya on Facebook, he does this thing on Thursdays where he just tells you everything that's going on, and he's saying that Trump invested like money into the UFC, and all of a sudden he's having it there at the White House. It is what it is. But let's talk about the event itself. A lot of people calling it a weak event. The Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje for the Lightweight Unification Championship. That is the main event. Co-main events: Alex Pereira versus Jack. How do you say his name? Cyril Gane. And that is the interim heavyweight championship. Other matches: Sean O'Malley versus Aliman Zahabi, Josh Kokic versus Derek Lewis, Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler, Bo Nicola versus Kyle Daukas, and then the other match is going to be Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. So, your thoughts on the card for probably the one and only UFC Freedom 250.
I mean, look, it's a weak ass card. This is a glad handing, self-aggrandizing, card. This is just to kiss butt with politicians. This is just to satisfy someone's ego to have on the front lawn. How are you going to make this work, man? How are you going to have the stands out there? How are you going to televise this? I guess those questions will be answered, but we'll see how that goes. And the card itself, aside from Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane, I don't care about anybody else. Don't give two craps about Justin Gaethje and the other guy. This could have been saved. If you had, I don't know, any of the lady champions on there, flyweight, strawweight, bantamweight. Like you could have got Dern, you could have got Semchenko on there. You could have gotten any of those. None of the female champions are going to be defending their belts on there. That could have made it a little bit better, but this ain't it. Don't care.
Right now, the only attraction is the fact that it's happening at the White House, where
That's it.
the White House is the backdrop, you know. So like, and what Fonzie says is that McGregor is the attraction, the money man. So he is right when he says that like if McGregor was fighting this fight, that would bring a lot more eyes to it because hey, he's coming back. It's happening at the White House. I don't know why it didn't happen, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, I am very intrigued to watch this. You know, so I'll let you do your picks. In the lightweight unification, who's going to get a Gethy or Tupura? Who is that?
I look, man. The heart says Gaethje because the dude's just a likable guy, and he's got all the tools. I don't think he's going to win against Tempura. I think Tempura's got it.
I'll go with Gaethje just to be different.
Okay.
The one you do care about, Pereira versus Gainey. Gan, who do you got there?
Dude, look, Poetan. Poetan's going to win it. Alex Pereira he's a Terminator. Dude's, I think he's going to walk in there and look. Not to sell short Cyril Gane. The Cyril Gane is a former heavyweight champion himself. That being said, dude, I just think that Pereira. There's something about this guy. He's a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature in and out of the octagon. I think he's going to take it.
Can you imagine if they had Sean Strickland on this card? This is the card you should have had Sean Strickland on.
I agree.
It was like it was 2 pay-per-views ago, right?
Yes.
But they had him on. They should have had Sean Strickland on this card. They should have had that card here, and they should have had that match here.
This would have been saved if you would have had Strickland or any of the females defending their belts.
Yeah,
that would have been that pay-per-view would have been pretty good.
Nonetheless, it's going to be a spectacle, but like I said, I am intrigued because if somebody that is an MMA fan, is a UFC fan, is a boxing fan, is a wrestling fan as well, I want to see how this is going to come out and how it's going to look. So I am probably going to fork over the $10 to watch. That's the beautiful thing. Like I said, there's no way Paramount Plus is ever going to make their money back because how are you going to make your money back when it's only $10? You know, they spend like what 500. They spend how much did they spend? Like $5 billion or something. Whatever they spend, how are you going to get it back? I don't know.
They know they're not going to get their money through the $10. They're going to get their money from the schmucks they're going to be paying for the attendance. Yeah, plain and simple.
But I will say that I will give UFC a lot of props, and of course Dana White and their people because they put all the stuff. The one thing about Paramount Plus is that all the UFC related stuff is just there on Paramount Plus. You don't have to go remember, if you're a WWE fan like we are, if you want to watch the PLEs, I'll still call them pay-per-views, you got to watch them on ESPN. If you want to watch the Saturday Night's Main Event, you got to watch it on Peacock. If you want to watch Monday Night Raw, you got to get Netflix. If you want to watch the SmackDown, you got to get USA Today. That's a joke, folks, but still the USA Network. If you want to watch the other one, it's on CW, NXT.
You got to go on TNN, and then you got to go on.
Yeah, it's crazy, but imagine if you're able to see everything on one app. They had it down. It was the WWE Network, but then they say, you know what, let's make money off this. So that's it. I mean, it's a quick...
Weather permitting.
Yes, weather permitting. That is UFC Freedom 250 from the South Lawn of the White House. That is crazy to see. And, it's curious to see how that's going to turn out. So, Jack, that's it. That's a very abbreviated edition of Slammin' It because there's other stuff that we got to get to, or I got to get to once we go out there tomorrow. Next week, I'm glad to announce that will be back together after a month away. We will be back there in the city of Crosses at the gym. And John, what was your friend's name that got me the drink?
Henry. He'll have a tea. He'll have a mega tea.
Henry, I want the mega tea. That's from the Mega Powers, like he did the last time. By the way, did you guys get permission for that commercial yet?
Yeah. Long story short, yes.
Okay, good. So we got to put that on the air as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
So
that's
yes. So that is gonna wrap it up. So for Jack Lutz, I'm out of the Mando Medina. Short and sweet, but sometimes that's the way it is for the double bicep pose as he's raising his. This is the crescendo. This is the end. This is the end. Thank you for watching Slammin' It for Jack on Monster 1, 2, 3. Okay, bye.